News, everybody. One of my favorite fans, guy named Jeff Tischauser. He was raised in Oak Park. He's a University of Wisconsin PhD, radical. He's an Antifa activist. He writes for the Southern Poverty and Law Center. He actually collaborates with the Downers Grove scumbags, the women over there. There's a bunch of radical leftists that push porn, transvestites, drag queens, open borders. They're like the worst of the worst. And so they got him a couple years ago to write a little hit piece on me in the Southern Poverty and Law Center. So it's kind of funny. These Antifa associates reached out to an Antifa activist who writes for the Southern Poverty and Law Center, who's from Oak Park, lives in Chicago, pretends he's a big city dweller, right? Grew up in Oak Park and went to school in Wisconsin. Makes it even more ironic. So anyway, he wrote a hit piece on me called Illinois Radical Parent Has Hate Group Ties and a History of Racist Posts. So my hate group ties are a guess because there's Proud Boys in the area. They show up at many parents' events. They show up to protect the parents from Antifa and some of his friends, as well as the Downers Grove mothers who associate, one of the moms, Mary Lemansky. Mary Lemansky from Downers Grove is an Antifa, self-proclaimed Antifa dirtbag. And a few years ago, if you guys remember what happened, the Waukesha Christmas Day Parade mass murder by BLM. So this Mary Lemansky from Downers Grove admitted she was anti-fascist, admitted she was a BLM fan. And when Kyle Rittenhouse was released, charges dropped on him when he went to trial, she posted that the people, the grandparents, the grandmas, the children that got killed, it was karma for what happened with Rittenhouse getting out of his case, right? So she's a scumbag. So Mary Lemansky, Jill Bartelemy, Kiely, Sphan, they're all friends. They're political friends, personal friends. Lemansky actually was their social media manager. They kind of distanced herself from them back then because they had to politically, but they all work together, right? And they're coming after parents, and that's where they got Jeff Tischauser, the connection through the Downers Grove radical extreme leftists. So they got him to come after me, think he was going to silence me. And I got to thank Jeff Tischauser because he really elevated my profile for being a parent that was speaking out against pornography in my kid's school. Matter of fact, where is it here? So this is what Jeff Tischauser in the Southern Poverty Law Center is defending, right? And what's ironic is I brought this poster to an event where Sean Casten was speaking. Sean Casten, he's a leftist scumbag congressman in our district, right? I held this poster right in front of him. I didn't have the tape on here. So it's a girl wearing a strap on with another guy giving them oral sex. It's in the kids' books. It's in grammar schools, too. Sean Casten was so flustered. He said, only one person brought pornography in this library. It's him. So these other leftists in Downers Grove are telling me that this stuff's not pornographic. So now I'm confused because their great almighty leader said it is pornography. So anyway, the guy did a hit piece on me. Kind of fell off the radar. He got his little Antifa punks and pencil necks to come after me. Now that my partner, Paul Drabick, combat vet, is running against one of these scumbag Democrat extremist friends in Downers Grove for the village council, they're coming after Paul. They're trying to discredit him for speaking out and being a bold father like myself about porn and drag queens and transvestites. So I get an email this morning from pencil neck Jeff Tischauser, and he's doing another story on me. So I wanted to read this. It's coming out, I think, tomorrow. So actually, I want to thank him because last time he did the story, it really boosted my profile. This time he's doing a promo, I think, for me in this story. And I did respond to, I didn't answer his dumbass questions, which I'll read to you. But I did ask him, when he does his story, when he publishes his story, would he please tell everyone that the podcast Behind Enemy Lines, it's on X, it's on Rumble, it's on Getter, it's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, and then we're on Patriot TV. General Flynn's Patriot TV now. So I hope he puts that in the story. I don't think he will, but I hope he does, right? So here's what I got from this pencil neck. I'm writing a story about your relationship with Tom Homan. Everyone knows I've been working with Tom Homan here in Chicago for the SPLC website. I'm contacting you to provide you an opportunity to respond to the findings of my investigation and answer my questions. In my story, I write, You associated with the Proud Boys attended the January 6th insurrection and posted racist, bigoted imageries on social media. I think he's referencing to a Getter post, and I'll explain that. And then I'm going to link this to my initial story about your political activities, right? So the meme he's talking about from 3 years ago, and in his original story, I think he said that I posted like a pre-Civil War racist African-American imagery, right? I posted a meme back. Remember Goofy Dennis Rodman? And that professional basketball player was locked up in Russia for having marijuana. So this is right when the war started with Ukraine, right? So Rodman goes, I'm going to go over there and get her free, right? Which is a joke, right? And this is right when the war started. So I had, there was an image of Rodman. I'm going to put it up here, right? He had his little gold thing and his glasses and stuff. Nasty, ugly man, right? And I got a meme of a black guy that looked just like him sweating bullets. You'll see, he doesn't mention that. And it was a sarcastic meme. More importantly, I had someone do, Photoshop for me. Because he had the ring, and this meme didn't have the ring and the pink like glasses that Rodman had. So by the time I posted this on Getter, I posted actually on a couple things. I posted on Rodman and some other things, being sarcastic about African-American sweating bullets, right? And so I'm going to show you this and let you guys decide if it's racist and tell me if it does not look just like Rodman. So that's my racist imagery that he's mentioning in here. Let me see here. Associated with the Proud Boys in 10th of January. Yes, I was at January 6th. I was with Rob Waller. Matter of fact, Tischler and you and your punk friends from Sedition Hunters were trying to find out who my friend was. That's Rob Waller, Cook County Sheriff, retired just before that. He's coming out. Now that January 20th came around with Trump, you guys go screw yourself, right? He didn't do anything wrong, just like I didn't do anything wrong. So just so you know, it's Rob Waller, my good friend from high school, who actually wanted to go to January. I didn't want to go. I was on cancer treatment, so I know you know the story. So anyway, you are an Illinois chapter leader of Parents Involved in Education. There's another question from Pencil Neck. Yes, I am. You are DuPage County committee person. I'm a committee man. Committee person sounds democratic to me. Yes, I am. I'm an elected committeeman, by the way. In a speech, February 2023, you admitted to dressing up as Santa Claus at a protest outside LGBTQ and inclusive Christmas party that took place December 21st outside the Methodist Church in Downers Grove. So, the Methodist Church in Downers Grove was ran by another transvestite freak, and they were hosting trans Santa Claus for children in the parking lot. So parents from Downers Grove, my community, parents and grandparents, we met up at a bar in Downers Grove, and then some of the other Proud Boys who actually held this poster up for me, they came as fathers. They did not come as Proud Boys. They live in Lisle, right by me, right? So a lot of the parents were scared to hold this because these punks like Tischler and Leslie Fugitt, Kiely, Sphan, Gilbert, they come after them, they try to harass them, dox them, go after, did the same stuff they did to me, but I was like, screw these bimbos, right? So I had my sheriff buddy, Tischler, the guy sitting next to me, he was the sheriff that I went down to. At that time, he was an active sheriff. Went to January 6th. I had another mother from Oakland High School where I went to, Tischler, and some Proud Boys hold these posters. The other parents in D99 were scared because these scumbags from Downers Grove would brutally attack them, just like they got you to come after me. Just like they got you to come after me at D99. And just like they got you to come after me with your stupid SPLC bullshit that I don't give a shit about, because I'm actually excited about it. Because you're going to help me. I already got interviews booked. I'm waiting for your story to come out because we're going to make fun of you on these interviews. So, yes, I did dress up as Santa Claus. I was sarcastic. Matter of fact, we didn't even see children. The Proud Boys from the neighborhood showed up there. The parents and grandparents were on the other side. I came as Santa Claus. We had to wear masks then. HBO was there. HBO happened to film. They were filming the trans Santa Claus, which is kind of freaky and weird, right? Another thing I said during my interview, which they edited, is like, what do you need a trans Santa Claus for? If you got these innocent children, so you got these freaks like Fugitt, Sphan, and Bartelemy saying that these kids need to be included, and they need to know that there's a trans Santa Claus that likes to have a penis, pretend he's a woman and vice versa. And if they don't have a Santa Claus like that, these young kids who believe in the imaginary Santa Claus, who want to get gifts from their parents, thinking it's Santa Claus, need to have a transvestite Santa Claus, or they're going to feel not included. Just like this, I'm going to read this. I do this because it drives them nuts. Here's what Sphan, Bartelemy, all of these leftists say in Downers Grove School. They say that the gay children, they're children just like my kids, right? They're children. They said the gay children, if they don't see this in their schools, right, they might commit suicide. I swear to God, that's what they say. If they don't see this book with these pictures in their school, they won't feel included. It's a lie. Just like it's a lie that a little child so innocent that thinks Santa Claus is real and wants a present from Santa is going to wonder if it's a chick with a dick or not, right? They're full of shit. They're doing this on purpose. It has nothing to do with being anti-gay. The gay community I work with, log cabin Republicans, Gays Against Groomers, my neighbor, Alderman Ray Lopez, which you asked about. I'll talk about him later in the story. I'm not sure why you asked about him, but he agrees with me. The only ones that don't agree with us is pasty white liberals like Tischler that grew up in Oak Park, or these other idiots from Downers Grove. So let me go on here. Let's see, Methodist Church. However, in the speech, I did a speech, and they watch everything I do. It's kind of cool, right? Gives me more viewers. In that speech, you left out that you were alongside the Proud Boys. Okay, I was by the Proud Boys. Now what? So what? I was by grandparents, parents, and the Proud Boys showed up from the community. So what? You hang out with Antifa. You are Antifa. You brag about Antifa. You post Antifa stuff. All right, let's see here. Oh, after your December 2021 protest outside the church, you took a photograph giving a racist hand gesture dressed as Santa Claus alongside Proud Boys at what looks like a bar. No, it was really a bar. It was downtown. I think it was called Emmett's. And then the parents and the grandparents, we went there afterwards. And the Proud Boys were there, and I was there at Santa Claus. And what's funny is that you got Jeff Tischauser and these other idiot scumbags. They're going to tell us, okay, we're going to define who's a racist. We're going to define who's anti-gay. We're going to define a woman. We're going to define a man can have a baby. All this crazy shit. Now, so they said this sign. Here's the sign I did. I did it sarcastically. In Jeff Tischler's original story, his post, I was laughing, and I did it at a police officer rally to support the Mount Prospect police. The Proud Boys were there. I was with the cop guys, and I did it laughing because it's a joke, because these guys, these scumbags like Tischler and these Downers Grove idiots, they hijacked the OK sign, and then I said, it's white supremacist, it's racist, it's the Proud Boys. So see this here I bought, Tischler? I'm sure you're watching it, you little prick. You follow everything I do. I bought this week, coincidentally. My kid wanted to go to Goodwill. And I'm walking around the store, and this thing was sitting, I swear to God, on the shelf. But I had to paint it, so it was all old. And I asked the lady, it was like $2.99. So I got a question for you. Did they not get your memo at Goodwill that this is a white supremacist sign? Don't they know that this means racism? This means Proud Boys? Because you better call their corporate office and tell them that you, Southern Poverty Law Center, and the rest of your scumbags declared this is a racist, white supremacist signal, and only racists use this because they need to be punished. They sold this at the store. It's right off of 63rd Street in Willowbrook. Make sure you call them, right? Make sure you boycott them, Goodwill, please. Fucking idiot. All right, let's see. What's the next one here? According to an article in the Gateway Pundit by Paul Drabick, that's my partner, you brokered a closed-door meetings December 11th with Tom Homan, local politicians, including Alderman Ray Lopez. Yes, I did. Ray Lopez is the only guy that came out, not because he's gay, came out as a Democrat with balls to say he's standing up against the gang members and the Venezuelans and the nuts that are being pumped into the city of Chicago. And Tischler, there's other Democrats, big-name Democrats, who I bet you know, that are all supporting Tom Homan, right? So I answered that question. Let's see. According to a video you posted on X, formerly known as Twitter, thank you for acknowledging that, you gave Tom Homan a tour of the migrant entry area of O'Hare on December 11, 2024. This was actually after I had 3 meetings with actually law enforcement officials, right? Sitting law enforcement officials from the Chicago police. I bet you want to really know who they are, right? So yes, I got there early and I went across the street at O'Hare and they have an intake center and they got those NGO scumbags, the aviation police, where they're bringing in the Tren de Largua and the criminals and the illegal aliens. This was December 11th. You're thinking after the election, they were going to be done, right? But no, Obama, oh my God, it doesn't matter. Biden and his administration, Johnson, Pritzker, they're still pushing them in. They were flying them into O'Hare Airport and my meeting was at Tom's Hotel across the street. So I got there early. I'm like, let me go see if these scumbags are still set up there. If it stopped after the election, well, sure enough, they were there. And I did have a little confrontation. I don't know if you saw that, Jeff. I don't know if I put that up, but it's pretty funny. So I told Tom Homan, I go, man, those scumbags are across the street. They're bringing illegals in still. He's like, no way. Let's go over there. So I took him over there. You probably saw the video, right? I mean, you mentioned it in here. So yes, I answered that question too. You attended an inauguration party January 19, 2025, alongside Tom Homan, Rodney Scott, and Michael Flynn. I was at the Tom Homan one. I wasn't alongside them, but I was at it. I was not at a Rodney Scott. I was not at a Michael Flynn. There were so many things going on that night. And the Tom Homan one just happened to be in my hotel. Being that I know Tom, I went there and I went to bed because I'm kind of old. I don't like walking around, right? I did walk in the middle of the march and confront a lot of those scumbag leftist friends of yours over at the Washington Monument. Tom Homan was a featured speaker at an event you hosted June 12th, 2024. Yes, he was. And it wasn't only Tom Homan, by the way. It was the Border 911 crew. You know, Sarah Carter. Rodney Scott, right? He's going through the nomination process. And you know what? We had it we had it in the southwest side of Chicago at Bourbon Street. And you know Bourbon Street. Remember your friends, your Antifa buddies and the punks that you hang around with, as well as Bartelemy, Sphan, Fugitt. I hosted an event there with Gays Against Groomers, Log Cabin Republicans, Moms for America, Moms for Liberty, Awake. And guess what? You and your friends called and threatened Bourbon Street. You threatened to shoot the place up. You threatened the parents that were going to go there and have a parent event. But you inclusive Democrats, right? You loving Democrats that want inclusivity. You went out of your way to threaten and harass the owners of Bourbon Street so much that they canceled the event because they were worried about the safety of their staff. So anyway, I went back there with Tom Homan, the Border 911 folks, and we had tons of police officers there from Chicago and firemen. And there was no fear. I knew you pencil neck Antifa guys wouldn't have showed up at the parents' one. You know, we would have slapped you around like nothing. I knew you wouldn't show up. And I knew for sure you wouldn't show up with law enforcement there. So we had it there. It was a great event. It was sold out. Wish you could have been there. You posted to Facebook August 4th, 2024, that you go on Venezuelan gang member hunting trips. Yes, I do. I did a lot of them. I don't know how much you've been following me. And I go confront those criminal Venezuelan gang members face to face. I'd like to see your little pussy ass do that. I caught a drug transaction. Me and Ben Berquam, we caught 3 Venezuelans, Tren de Largo actually, and I did think I was going to get shot. Did you see that? It was in the Gateway Pundit, Jeff. If you haven't searched it, go back and search it. It says Newsome, Berquam, expose, I don't know, something. Look it up. It was kind of scary, actually. Let's see. Oh, then I went with Congressional District, Illinois, John Boris asked to join. Yeah, so John went to a different one with me. I went to, there's 27, there's 27 different illegal criminal Venezuelan shelters. Gage Park, Pilsen, into Chicago, Little Village. I went to a bunch of them. I took John Boris and some other folks. We took them to the intake center on, oh my God, on Polk and Des Plaines. Yeah, and we had a confrontation with the NGOs. And it's kind of funny, your NGO buddies that are getting paid $350,000 a year to manage and take these Venezuelans and pump it. They called the police. 4 squads showed up, Jeff. 4 squads. Cops are on our side. And it's kind of funny is that your NGO buddies, your leftist scumbag Marxist friends who are helping these Venezuelans populate in the city of Chicago, called 911 for help to call against a congressional candidate, myself, and other candidates that were standing on the public sidewalk, as well as the street, filming him and the criminal Venezuelans. and he wanted the police to help him. And I told the police it's ironic that this scumbag from Houston, I did a facial recognition scan. I got his name. I forgot, Jason something. This scumbag from Houston's making $350,000 as a contractor to push Venezuelans and Tren de Largo into our city. He wants you to arrest us for having our right to stand on a public street and film public property. And I told the cops, I said, this scumbag is probably going to be responsible for someday, God forbid, one of your officers in Chicago is going to get killed by one of these gang members, right? And he's calling you for 911 to try to get you to arrest us. They couldn't do shit. The cops are on our side, right? They couldn't do anything. We're standing on a public street. So I hope that answered your question, Princess. Aside from O'Hare, what other migrant shelters, places did you take Tom Homan in Chicagoland? None of your business. Actually, no, that was it. That was just it. How would you describe your relationship with Tom and when you first met him? And who introduced you to him? So, God, it's so long ago. I think when I first met Tom, we were in Downers Grove at the library when they were having, I don't know if it was Pride reading for 2-year-old babies at the library, or it might have been the transvestite bingo. It was transvestite bingo for kids. Yes, it was when they had that transvestite, Aurora Devine from the north side, the most raunchiest, raunchy, nastiest transvestite in Boys Town, come and play bingo with the children of Downers Grove. That's where I met Tom. Yeah. And I think the transvestite, Aurora Devine, introduced us. And me and Tom, we were sitting there watching him dance. He was singing Katy Perry songs and playing bingo with the children in Downers Grove. Thanks to Kiely, Sphan, and Bartelemy and Fugitt, my girlfriends, right? The Three Stooges. Okay. Oh, how would I describe my relationship with Alderman Ray Lopez? When did you first meet, and who introduced you? God, I don't know. I used to be a Democrat before you guys went nuts. I don't remember how I met Ray, but I know I set up the meeting with him and introduced him to Tom, because Ray Lopez, who you know is a Democrat, who you know is a Hispanic, and who you know is gay. And you know what? I got to pick up the phone when I'm done with this and call Ray. I forgot to tell him that you know that I hate gay people. So I got to call and tell him, because you said that. You said I hate gay people, and I don't even know if Ray knows that. So I'm going to call him and let him know so we never talk again. Jesus. I hope. Oh, my God. All right. Now let's see what else we get. He's such an idiot, right? In January 5th, 2023, post to Facebook, you describe political opposition. Political opposition. This is how this idiot describes. You got to remember, he's an Antifa activist. Political opposition is how he describes his punk pencil necks from Antifa. Antifa weasels and Downers Grove libs. I already talked about them here. Yes, that's what I described them. Now what? Okay, I did describe them as it. Who watch your posts online here. This really supports it. You started tracking me. You're watching my posts online. You're writing a story about me tomorrow. So I was right. This was January 5th, 2023. Oh my God, I could see into the future. Here we are. Let's see. Then I wrote white pencil neck childless basement dwellers. I don't think I said childless. I did say white pencil neck basement dwellers because you guys are. You're like pasty white. These three liberal women. Oh my God. Kylie Sphan looks like she just crawled out of a casket. She's so white. Fugitt's white. They're all white. They're all pasty white liberals who think they speak for gay people. They think they speak for the minorities. They live in the suburbs. They're lying, hypocritical scumbags like you are, Jeff. And you are pasty white. You really are. And I said, I also went on to say they don't know how lucky they are that the police are present to protect them at the rallies. So these Antifa guys, these pencil necks, show up, and then they go up and they confront the police officers who are super cool, and they have to wear body cameras. And these pencil necks go up, you got your body camera on? This is Antifa, right? Tough and got your body camera on, got your body camera on. You know why they're doing that? Because they know if the police don't have a body camera on, the police are going to beat their ass. They know if the police don't have their body camera on and they get in my face, I'll beat their ass. So they're asking the police, got your body camera on, to protect themselves. They know that if the body camera is not on, they can't push the envelope. They can't get in my face and get away with it. They can't start trouble with me and get away with it. And they certainly can't do it with the Chicago police. And another message here is that we never show up to Democrat events and start trouble and start fights and get in their faces, right? They come to our stuff and start trouble, get in our faces, verbally abuse the police officers, call them pigs, all kinds of names. Same with us. Now, do we sometimes in Downers Grove, like the transvestite stuff? Yes, yes. We peacefully protest. We don't start fights. We don't beat people up. We don't follow them to their cars. So I think I answered everything. So let's see. Do you wish to expand? I answered everything. So Jeffy boy, I look forward to your story because I got to start booking some interviews to respond to it. But I hope I answer your questions. I don't know. If you have any more, if you see this in time, just send me an email. And please make sure when you, in your story, tell them that Behind Enemy Lines is on Twitter. Oh, formerly Twitter, as you say, it's X now, right? Getter, YouTube, Facebook, and then General Flynn's Patriot TV, Saturday and Sunday. And if you want to come on as a guest, Jeffy boy, you could do it right here in person, or if you're scared, I'll just Teams you in. All right? Have a good night.